Hey, how you guys doing? So in a little impromptu stream, we're gonna do a paint and sip. Oh shoot, did you get I didn't even think about getting a little drink for ourselves. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get myself a drink.
You
But I
didn't get a drink for the paint?
No, I forgot. God. Well, maybe
I got Hydro Flask ready.
what you sipping? Water?
Yeah,
Juice?
right
Okay.
now. I just finished my coffee. It's we're on opposite coasts. So it's only
Oh
noon here.
yeah. Because I was
Yeah.
like, end of day Friday. Well, it's like not end of day, but you know.
Well, it's like not that I wouldn't go have like a nice like brunch mimosa right now or something, maybe right after this. But no, I just got my Hydro Flask with some water just to keep me hydrated while we're chatting.
Nice.
You don't have anything?
No, I
It's a
forgot. I
paint
was
and sip,
legit like, I
Rizel.
need to make
Okay.
sure to get mine.
That's too funny.
I wasn't gonna get anything crazy. I was just gonna do cranberry juice.
Also, the intro music was so zen. I feel
You
like
think
so
so?
zen.
I
Yeah,
feel like
so
they
zen
need to
out right now.
update it.
I felt like I just got out of the sauna. It was very relaxing. I'm like, ah.
Okay, that's good. Cause I'm like, I had this since my GitHub days. That same intro. I'm like, I need something else that's like more update. I don't know.
Oh, that's too funny. I love that.
Okay, so we should tell folks. Oh, is someone here? I see a comment. Hey, Angie. We should tell
Angie?
folks what we're gonna do. And let me put the comments on the stage. I know we didn't promote this much or anything, but me and Andrew have been participating in January. Him more than me. I haven't done every single day of the month, but I've done a good portion. And the cool thing has been that we've been leveraging our AI agents to actually do the work rather than us do it ourselves. And Andrew's been on this whole thing where you just been delegating all your work in general to agents.
Yeah, so I've been experimenting with January. I think maybe just taking a step back and telling people what it is. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see here. Share screen. And then I'm just going to go ahead. I trust everyone here. I'll just share the whole window. Let's just have that kind of like intimate screen share. So this is January. And January is a challenge. It's a daily challenge in the month of January where you use code to create art, and every day has its own prompt. So January is not something that's like you generate AI generated art. It's actually been around for many, many years. And the idea is you use code programmatically to create artistic outputs. And there's a lot of really cool examples of this. And there's been a daily challenge in the month of January. And so I've been doing this for like every few years. Maybe I'll pick up January and try to do some of them. But this year I was really like empowered to try to build a system with AI to go through the month for me. So, God, what day is it? It's 23rd day of the month. So we've been doing 23 of these. I think you've been doing all of them too. You don't give yourself enough credit there.
No, I really haven't. I probably did like 10 days.
That's too funny. And so I've actually been, did I lose my screen share? Let me see.
Yeah, put it back.
Okay. I don't know where it went. Okay, great. So I've had actually this coding jam repository where I've been collecting these as I have the agent work on different coding challenges. I did some over the winter break, and all of the agents are responsible for creating a demo showing off what they did at the end of the month. And so I actually have this harness website that gets built on GitHub for each of the daily challenges. And it's kind of like a showcase on the web where the agents can show what they made that day. So this has been kind of cool. The end result of like getting this like code system that creates this website that just publishes itself. But, how did I get here is like a big question of how I've been orchestrating the agents and working with them to actually have this output. So I can talk a little bit about how some of the agents do work and what my prompts are like. But
Yeah.
ultimately, what I do is I set my AI loose every day on the daily challenge. And I challenge the LLM through a series of self-reflective questions that I have in a prompt that I'll show you in a
Mm.
minute, to reflect on the prompt like an artist would, to try to be contrarian, to try to be logical, to try to explore it, to look at names and references that might be in the prompt. Like sometimes the prompts are homages, the famous artists or schools of art. So actually doing the research, right? And what's been really rewarding is watching how the agent has been learning about different codings or different art styles, and then leaving information about it in the project itself. So in here, I have a folder called Manifesto, where every single day since I've created the harness, which was about like day 7, uh,
Wow.
the agent will reflect on the prompt and kind of do a full like walkthrough of like how they could actually capture it in a creative way to show to people. And then ultimately, they also pick like their favorite settings, and they ultimately think about what's going to create the best art output. And so it's done that every single day. And actually, as part of doing this, what it does is it reads all of the past days before it does today. So what this has meant
Mm.
is that today, now on day 23, I'm not just using an artistic agent or like a creative coding agent to make today's prompt. It's actually been reading and is inspired by all of the past agents' days and what they thought about and what they made. And as part of that too, obviously the LLM likes to find common patterns so it can get kind of samey. So I have it reflect on how it's going to reject things that the last agent did. That way, it's not going to use the same patterns. It's not going to try to
You should
copy
zoom in. Sorry
before
to
it.
interrupt you.
It actually makes like a forbidden list of like things that we don't want to do. So that's kind of like something that I put into the system as well. Do you kind of see how these pieces kind of start to like loop together day after day to build?
Yeah, I love it. I love it that it goes back and even reads what the
Yeah,
past
go
agent
back and
did.
reflect and do a whole process. So,
Yeah.
I can show you actually how this works. Typically, my process is I start these on my phone. Like the day starts, and I'll roll out of bed and get my day started. In this case, I've been using Claude Code this month, and so I've been using Claude on my phone. And I'll start a cloud session because I actually have a slash command that has
That's
all
good.
of this information for how I want them to reflect and build. And so I just kind of use that to start a session. So if I haven't done today's challenge, so I figured maybe we could do that one together and we could kick off the thinking process, and you could see a little bit about what it's doing. But I guess before I start though, I kind of been talking for a minute. Like, what kind of questions do you have based on
Uh,
what I've been showing you?
I don't have questions. I like the process that you've taken for it, but I don't have questions. I guess what made you decide like let me add in a manifesto? Because maybe you didn't have that originally.
Yeah, I didn't. Like, I'd been using the LLM all every day of the month to make the art output, but you'll notice my manifestos only start about 7 days in.
Mm,
And that's because I realized in having done a full weeks of output in this kind of process that I just showed you, that it was getting kind of samey and I was repeating myself a
oh yeah.
lot. And so ultimately, by then asking the agent to like leave some sort of signature behind of its artistic thought process and what it created, then I'd at least have a reference for future days. And then after like a few days of doing that, I realized that I could chain them together,
Yeah.
right? And it could like each one could reflect on the day before. And then that's where the manifesto folder kind of ended up coming from.
I love it. I
Okay.
say dive in and zoom in
Yeah, I'm
on your
gonna
CLI too, so we can see.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get zoomed in here. So right now I'm in the Coding Jam folder. So I'm gonna spin up a Claude session in that folder. And then let's see, we're gonna start day is my slash command. And then today's the 23rd. So that's really all I have to do to kick off this process. Let me see if I can zoom in even
Yeah,
some more.
that's much better. Thank
That's
you.
even better. Okay, great. So it's going to read the agent definition file. It's going to understand the constraints that I've given it. And then it's actually going to start reading all of these past manifestos. So you can see here it is going through reading day by day, and it's going in order and seeing what the agent did, adding that to its context. And then once it gets to the end of that, it's going to reflect on today's prompt and kick off its own self-reflection process.
Okay.
Now, another thing I want to call out too is that I gave it the idea a few months ago that it should build a museum at the end of the month with everything that it had been making. And so now, as part of the manifesto process, it thinks about how its end piece is going to go into the museum that it's been designing day by day. With all of its
Okay,
art.
I love it. You made your agent start thinking like an artist.
Yeah, basically, I made it think like, oh, if you're going to curate your art at the end of this, like be thinking about how it fills a space. I figured we could create like an interactive browser museum where people can go and look at the art pieces.
That's cute. I love that.
So let's see. The first thing it's done here is it's verifying it read all the manifestos. It's understanding kind of like the emotional tone of each of the days, like reflecting on what made that day like have like a resonant feeling for the viewer, and looking at things that are like things that we've done a lot. So let's see. If I go back up here, the band visual patterns, like just, stuff that it's done a whole bunch of times that it shouldn't try to do today, as well as like thought processes that it's had a lot. So it's challenging itself to think differently today. And these are things that I put into the prompt to just make each day be a reaction to the day before. Because I think that's like where it gets interesting in terms of like using it to create generative art, or art with code, is that like art itself is a reflection on art before you. And so if you make the agent reflect on art before it, then it gets results that are a little more interesting, I think. So it goes through, comes up with a whole interpretation. Now it's doing research on some of the artists that might have explored this field before. As you can see, now it's searching on the web to get inspired, like how like an artist might then go and look at examples of other artists of how they've executed the idea, and get a little more familiar with the problem space. And then once it does all of this, it's probably going to propose an idea for what it wants to build. And then that's actually where it's going to stop, and we get a chance to review it.
Ooh, exciting.
So while mine's cooking, Rizel, like, you want to talk a little bit about what yours has been like, and I know we can go back to this when it's ready.
Yeah, I can talk about what mine's been like. Basically, I saw Andrew do in January, and I was like, I want to do it too. But mine has been a little bit different. I think I'm only going to show like one of my processes, but I have like two different processes. So I actually decided to participate, so I can kind of compare like the experience of using skills, which is like agent skills, right? Versus using something like a CLI harness or something like that. So I kind of copied Andrew, and he has like a harness that initially sets it up, and that kind of gives like a deterministic experience. And then I was like, what if I just let like Goose run loose, but just have like a skills file that it's following? So I've been like running both of those. Not every day, but every time I do the challenge.
You say goose on the loose? Goose on the
Yeah,
loose. I
goose
love
on the
that.
loose.
Goose on the loose. Okay, so it looks like it made the
Ooh,
manifesto
let's see.
for today. So let's see. And also as part of this, it comes up with like a social post that could come with the end art piece. It also will write a little placard that goes into the museum. So here's like the placard that it envisions would sit next to this art piece that it's going to make in the museum when it's done, based upon its vision of it. So let's see. What even is the prompt today? It is transparency. So explore the concept of transparency is the prompt today. And so let's see. Transparency isn't about seeing through. It's about the third presence that emerges in an overlap. And then it's going to use SVGs to create some sort of art that plays on the idea of transparency.
Ooh, cool.
So obviously I can't envision perfectly what it has in mind, but it has some sort of idea for what it wants to make. So now I can just tell it, and it's just going to build what it needs to execute its vision. And part of that makes that possible, which you called out, it is definitely the harness, right?
Yeah.
If I come back over to the harness that I had it build on the first day, that's what this is. It's
Yeah,
just like a place where all of the art can live. And once you have a place like this, it's like really easy to get these loops that you can just run by itself.
exactly. I'm
All right.
curious. I'm curious for both of us. Like, what will our agents interpret as transparency?
Is yours going to do today's challenge too?
Yeah, I'm gonna do today's challenge.
Okay. Well, do you want to get yours? I guess you want to get your goose on the
Sure.
loose. Well,
If yours
mine's
is
building now, so
okay,
we'll come back and see what mine put together in the harness in a little bit.
I will share my screen. Hold on. Entire screen. Okay. This is like my website harness that I have, and I have the ones that are using like agent skills versus like the workflow harness. My favorite ones, I will say, just so I can show you guys, have been the ones that have been built by skills. So this one, which is like the Fibonacci Forever, and there's another one here. This one I thought was so cute where there was like a Boolean algebra challenge and it was like comparing or showing like
Look
and
how cute that
or
is.
I know it was so
I'm obsessed with
adorable.
that. That's so cool. That
I
was the Boolean
know.
algebra day. What did mine do that day? That's too
I don't
funny.
know. What was your site again?
No, yeah, let's see. On the 7th. Oh,
Oh,
mine created these like gradient patterns. Nowhere near as cool as yours.
let me see. Oh, I like your okay, but I did 2 different ones and I was like going back and forth. I'm a little bit more involved in the process for mine. Okay, so similar to Andrew, I have a slash command. This is using a recipe behind the scenes and I just tell it January skills and I put in this like parameter called day whatever, right? Day equals 22, I think is today. Oh, 23 actually.
23,
And
yeah.
yeah, and what it's going to do, it's going to start using the recipe and the skill. So yeah, it like loads the skill name and it tells me like, oh, today's prompt today is going to be transparency and it says its artistic vision is jellyfish ballet.
Oh my
Um
god. They're translucent. What a
yeah,
clever idea. That's so
let's
fun. What
see how
model
it
are you
goes. I
using?
know. What happened?
What model are you using?
I'm using Opus 4.5. Are you using
Oh,
the same?
nice. Yeah, I am.
Okay, let's see what it does. Mine always goes for, I think like I think in my skills thing I kind of prompted it to do like a little bit like more human, realistic. I didn't want it to look too at least this is just like my preferred way of doing things. So it tends to like go for like animals. So I'm just gonna tell it, yeah, go for it. Sometimes I tell it no, but it checks in with me. Like, do you actually like the idea? Sure. Love it. Oh, yours got built. Should we see yours while mine goes?
Mine did just get built. Let's see if it's done. Uh, let's see. Build succeeded. Looks like it's testing on the dev server. Now it's going
Okay.
to use the Chrome extension. We can just watch it test itself, actually.
Yeah.
Let's
Mine
see.
uses a Chrome extension too to
Great. So now it's
just
testing
see.
itself. It's actually going to load itself up. It's going to take screenshots, and it's going to make sure it matches its vision. So I gave the agent the prerogative to go and look at what it built, and then
Yeah.
like reflect on like the manifesto, what idea it had. Like, did this meet your vision? I challenge it to be really critical with itself,
Yeah.
and sometimes it'll do an additional loop, or it'll go back and change something. And as part of like the harness too is if I zoom in here, it's I get all these sliders.
I
So
love the sliders.
I challenge it to like, here's like a monochrome take on that same piece of art. I challenge it to add these different modes because I think that's like the spirit of January in particular.
Yeah.
Is like actually like using the code to deterministically create all sorts of different art as an output. Some of those are so light.
I
Oh yeah,
love
that's nice
that. I
here.
love the sliders. I have a Chrome extension too, but I've been meaning to like add sliders or something like that.
And then down here too, this is like this button will preload these sliders with what Opus
Opus.
4.5 thought was the most like beautiful version. So this is actually the one. This is the version of this art that it thinks is the most beautiful.
I
That's
love
funny.
that.
It's still working, so it keeps resetting itself. It actually is like it's complaining over here. It's like someone
What is
keeps
it
changing
saying?
things while
I
I'm
can't
trying to
see.
take pictures. Let's see. It's like, oh, I see this instead of this. Let me try to reset it and try the button again. Like it's fighting me because I'm like using its preview window and it's getting confused by my input, which is funny. Just a reminder to everybody, it's like use a different tab.
Yeah.
Don't fight your preview agent in the browser like me.
That be happening to me all the time.
All the time. I'm like using it and I'm like, why does this keep like tugging away from me? That I like look up and I'm like, oh, there's an agent using this tab with me.
Right. Mine is done. I think it's mid
Okay.
though. I'm not feeling it.
What's yours look like? Let's see.
Go back and try again.
Well, what did it make?
This is the jellyfish.
But that's so creative though. You gotta
You
like
so it? I don't know.
Okay, the thing is like, what are the line things? I can tell it tried to do some sort of math thing and like it didn't tile in the width it wanted. The jellyfish are cool though. Are those SVGs, you think? Like, what does this skill do that's making it do this?
My skill uses, I think I told it use P5 or SVGs if it wants to. So let's ask it what it actually did. It's trying to make a GIF right now.
Okay, so yours does that to it. It saves the output and takes its own picture.
I told it stop. I'm like, I'm not happy because it was like, oh, this is beautiful. I think it tried to do these lines to create like atmospheric depth.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's what it says, but I don't like that. So I'm going to be like, hey.
Well, Calvin loves the jellyfish. I mean, I love the jellyfish too. I think the jellyfish are the coolest thing in there. I just like I think you're right that it's like a twinkling, like underwater depth of field effect, you know?
Yeah, but not good.
Okay. So how could we challenge the agent to make it a little better?
Yeah, I'm going to say I don't like the atmospheric depth. That's what I don't like this because it just looks like lines in the ocean.
Rizel, it's 2026. You're still typing to your agent?
Yeah, I do not speak. I think I type faster than I will think to talk. I swear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure. I like this because the lines in the ocean. Do you have any other ideas on how you can make this still look like we're deep in the ocean without those ugly lines? I know that that's super vague and it might not get my intent, but we'll see. Because like, what is ugly to it versus me? It said maybe caustic light patterns, depth, fog, haze, floating particles, subtle vignette. And it decided on the subtle vignette, I think, and some caustic patterns that dance gently. Okay, go ahead.
Carry on. Okay, yeah. You're just like, whatever. I do. Okay, so that's been an interesting part about working with the tool in this way this month is obviously these tools are designed to write code and they're squirrely. You know, they just are designed to use tools, use skills, write code. And so when you put them in this like loop where there's no like right answer. Yeah. Like you can't like Rizel and I can't write a unit test to be like, oh yes, this is today's Genuary challenge. Like it can be whatever your interpretation of it is, right? So exactly. Like that, getting the LLM to understand that, and then the challenge itself to provide its best possible result has been a unique challenge, I think, for the month.
Exactly. Mine is trying to debug right now. I guess I could show you my skills file so you guys know like what I had in there. I don't remember.
Very smart to use skills. I tried to like pick that up as a practice in this one, but it did make one. It made a pixel art skill for how to make pixel art things that it did then use for like 3 or 4 days.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I think I just heard everyone talking about skills, and I was like, let me try. Similar to you, I like had it think about different artists and put its like mind in there, and then I told it like things I hated, which was like salmon pink. I told it like the art must have like some spark of emotion or be memorable, and just like
different spark of emotion. It has to leave an impression.
I don't know if agents could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I gave it like, well, me and Goose basically did this, right? Like how I wanted the colors to gradients and stuff like that to be. I don't want to use plain RGB, and like how the movement should be so it could be like more flowy. Um and then it basically does like the same thing as yours. It finds that particular day, shows the progress, and pitches its vision to me, and then I say like, yeah, I like that or not. But that's really how it's been like making everything. Yeah. And it pushes to
Amazing.
GitHub.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
it pushes the GitHub and builds, and then just like that, it's just like a semi-autonomous. So do you just kick it off in the morning, or when you have a chance during the day, you're like, hey,
I,
do the challenge?
yeah, my imagination was I was gonna kick it off every morning, because that would have made it all perfect for me. But I just do it whenever I have the chance. I also do it from my phone sometimes, with Goose um mobile. Someone said it doesn't show me which LinkedIn user. Same here. I can type way faster than I talk. Yes, thank you. Somebody else. Because sometimes I'd be like, I want, I'm like, ugh, I'd rather just type it.
I totally get that. I totally get that. Why I love your harness because I love how like stylized it is. I think if anything, I'm kind of like bored by my harness. That's why I
No.
started challenging mine to like
Oh.
make a museum, right? I think it'll be fun to see at the end of the month how it ultimately wants to take everything and put it back together. Maybe we'll have to come back and do like a tour of the museum and like walk through all the different days.
Yeah, I wanna see your museum in the end. I
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
see it.
the challenge is that it has to be web usable. So ideally, be a link, and everybody can go walk around in it and see what all the stuff the agent made.
Yes, oh my god, exciting. Yeah, I think you've had some really good ones. I like the dark hall, like, I
The
don't know
dark
if
hall
that's
one is cool.
yeah.
It actually, let me show you in the repo it made a map of what it wants to do in the museum, and it implemented that as part of the architecture. Actually, let me show you museum plan.
Oh, I'm not
Oh,
even
okay.
sharing yours. Sorry.
No, you're
I was like, "I don't see it,
I
Andrew."
literally just got to it. You can see on the left, the agent has still been like iterating because it didn't love it, and it came back and made a few more changes. But
Okay.
this museum floor plan was something that it came up with like a few days ago. And so it thought about all the different prompts and what's in it, and it thought about like what it could make. So it's already planning to make these little creatures that are going these little tanks for like day 29 to put in like an evolution lab. And then
What?
it's thinking of like a console. This is the entry hallway that it's going to use, like that hallway one that it created from 3D models. It's going to be like an actual like part of the museum. And so
And
it's going to do like a recursion room. All of this is going to be in the browser. I challenged it to use an immersive like this kind of technology to do it, like where you could actually then go walk around in it in the browser,
yeah, like,
and you
move
could use
your
like a
stuff
headset
or
for it. And I've never made one of these before, and so like I'm just challenging the agent, like, hey, can you create like a virtual space in the browser that shows off your art? So that's what it's been doing a little bit every day, like thinking on that challenge.
that's so cool. I like that. Wait, did you tell it start thinking about how the museum's gonna be laid out, or it just
Yeah.
started?
No,
Okay.
no. So around like a few days ago, like I just threw that idea out there. Like after it made
Oh.
the art piece, I was like, and I saw the hallway. It was the hallway one. I was like, wouldn't
Oh.
it be cool if we made like a place that like
Um,
used all of these different pieces that you've made? And actually the agent was like really excited by that. It was like, oh no
oh.
way, that'd be so cool if like instead of me just like making all of this art and it's sitting on your repo where no one's gonna go look at it. Like, what if we made like a place where people could look at it? So that same day, it came up with this whole plan that you're seeing here of like what all this stuff is going to go. And then it actually went back and it updated the command for start day. That way, all future agents will think about the museum. Let's see, where is it
Oh.
in here? Museum integration. So it came in here and it forced every future agent to go look at the plan it made and be like, we're building this. And then
What
tell it the
the
technology that I told it, and then tell it all the different things that all of the future agents need to think about. So this one agent influenced all of the future agents. Now they're all working together to build the museum day by day.
yours is sentient. Like, what the heck?
This one was so cool. So I'm really excited because the hallway The hallway one was my favorite too, and so I'm excited for it to become like part of the geography.
This is so cool. I love it. Oh my god. Mine's pushing
Yes.
to GitHub now. I took away the lines. It's just basically the same thing we saw, but just darker. Yeah, the that hallway was really, really like, wow,
That
I
one was
can't believe.
cool. And there's like
Yeah,
the 3D thing. And then you can adjust all sorts of stuff like the hallway depth. You can make the hallway really deep, or you can make it like you can make the fog really like close to you. You can
yeah.
also like if you want to get up off the floor, you could look at it from a
Yeah.
higher position.
Oh,
But like I think down here it's like it has like a whole different vibe to it for sure.
yeah, you and Claude went crazy with that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
this one was fun.
Yeah. Oh my
All right.
god.
Well, I mean, that's mine. That's what I've been building. So now you know what I've been working on a little bit every day. I mean, Rizel, I have been like sharing our creations back and forth every day, or our
Yeah,
creations rather. You know.
right. Because we didn't, we just told the agent what to do. It's actually really interesting because I know like AI can't really be creative, but if you kind of teach, like, I don't know, show it the things you like, it
Give
can
it
kind of copy those.
constraints.
Yeah, the constraints. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's like art is a lot of times about constraints, right?
Mm,
But what you can't do. And so like
I
that was like a big pattern in like how I designed this agent and its prompt. Like look at
mm,
things I've done before, be reactionary, don't repeat yourself, that kind of stuff.
yeah, I said don't repeat yourself too, because I was similar to you. Did day one, and then I'm like, why is day two basically the same thing but a completely different prompt?
Yeah, yeah, it's like the same thing, but like a totally different prompt. It felt so
Yeah,
samey. You had to
yeah,
get some sort of system. Like remember back when you, me, and Aaron did that live stream for like a hot second, and then
yeah.
we made the calculators,
Oh
and we were gonna
yeah,
create
and we
like the
were using the
Gen Z
same
calculators,
calculator.
and it made us the same exact calculator
Yeah,
from our prompts, just because it was so simple that like we didn't specify anything. You said
yeah.
that's what happens if like you don't, add this level of detail and constraint.
Exactly. Oh, wait, I forgot one thing about mine that I will show. Maybe it's not that cool, but I've been um getting the transcript of my conversation. I don't know, just in case people wanted to like my conversation with Goose, of course. Just in case people wanted to see like how this was like really made, what prompts I did and stuff like that. So Goose just like I totally forgot this. Goose automatically just runs like Goose session export and like exports the entire transcript and then pushes it to I don't know why it's not connected. It's trying again, but it just pushes it to GitHub for me.
I love
But
that.
like
That's so
I like
smart. I didn't think of that.
yeah. I like that because I've seen other people talk about like what do they say to agents, and I'm curious on like how did they make certain things work. So I'm like maybe people will want to see like how did like what prompts did I give, what did I say, even though I didn't say anything crazy here, but I don't know. Some people seem to struggle with
It's also really useful for you to do like a retro at the end of the
yeah,
month. Now
that's
you could
true.
have a flow at the end of the month that scoops up all of those transcripts and like makes them searchable or is searching through them and
That's
could like
true.
do some reflections on like what went well, what didn't, what could we do improve for next time, and then when it's January 2027, your machine's already
Another
ready to go.
yeah, that's true. Oh no, it's not working. Okay, it's just gonna create a summary manually. I don't know why it didn't work. Hmm. Oh well. But yeah, I that's such a good idea to be able to use this to improve for next year. Yeah, I want this
Yeah.
like fully automated next year. I don't
Yeah,
even
me
want
too. I want it to be
even
I want it to tell me what it made every day.
yeah,
I was able to get it pretty easy. Like I had started and did most of it on my phone every single day.
yeah.
But it would have been great if I would have just gotten like a Slack message like, "Hey, go check it out."
Right. Right. Yeah, because mine can even do a tweet for me because I have it in a I have Goose in a GitHub action, like writing like a social media post. But yeah, I want it to just tell me like I already made it. Like, good morning, Rizal. I made
Yeah,
I
I'm sure by
made
like 2027, next year we do this, like, yeah, it'll be doing itself. We would have
yeah,
scheduled it months ago.
yeah. I imagine that. The models and agents are gonna get way better.
Mhm.
But that's it for me. I didn't bring a drink to sip. Anybody in the audience, y'all was sipping? Or and then that's like yeah, you had your
Mhm.
water.
It is water. It is water.
But this has been
Um,
so fun. I'm really glad you introduced. Well, I'm glad I seen you do this, and then you were like posting in Discord, like Rizal, here's what I did next. I'm like, let me jump in.
oh yeah, because after I made a few like fun things, I was sharing them with you. I was like glad that someone else wanted to do it with me. I've just been posting every day, and Claude writes its own little message, and then I get the little piece, and I just like post it. So it's just been interesting to do it day
Yeah.
by day. It's been kind of fun to like share the process too, because I've been learning so much. I think if I were to reinvent this right now, or if I were to change this something right now, I would add like beads to it, like a better task management system,
Oh, have you
because
been using
I've
beads?
been using beads in other projects, and I'm obsessed with beads.
Oh my
And I think
god.
it's like so important for working with agents. Like while we were working, like I had 7 agents working in another tab using beads on something that I've
Oh.
been working on for work. So it's like I use beads constantly now. And so if I were to redo this right now, I would probably do the manifestos as beads.
Oh, I need to do beads. There's so much I need to do. I just don't have enough time. But yeah, I need to start
Okay,
using
well, we'll
beads.
do a bead one next time. I'll show you
Yeah.
how I work with beads or something, or we'll help you get set up. I have some bead skills that make your agents really. It's so
Oh
simple.
wow.
It's like I think it's almost like a protocol more than
Okay.
anything. But why don't we chat about that next time?
Yeah, let's do that. I would love to. All
Awesome.
right.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for hosting.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Bye guys.
Bye, guys.